Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one, we finally have, that's right, Poppy Jungle. She is against a Lily, a farming jungler, and Poppy is inherently a tank, ganking kind of jungler, so it's a good look at the new meta and how things are going to play out. Also, a good reason why you leave the base on time and you watch the entrances. Because if you get cheese on the inside here, you get cheese on this invade, you want to be able to react and actually do something about it. Now, Poppy is interesting because she has around a 1% pick rate, 51% win rate, really consistently over the past year, maybe even more. Really actually shows up quite frequently, relatively, in high elo. This is why we have those wards for invades. Although, as you will watch this go out, this isn't a game where people sort of snowball freely and get a turbo win from a first kill, so don't worry about that. Things actually go quite wrong in terms of early pathing. And it shows you the strength of the current meta. First blood there to Katarina. Lilia also grabs a kill, and then Poppy dies. And finally, Aatrox is reconnected. So this is what you'd call an absolute messy level 1. Now, when this happens, junglers tend to lose their minds, and I really hate it as well because you don't get a leash, your pathing game is all completely wasted, you have no flash, she has a flash. This is just really frustrating. However, in this new meta that isn't focused around farming as much, and I'm going to do a best junglers for the main channel tomorrow to show you, listen, the best junglers are not just gankers and the best junglers are not just farmers. But Poppy here will show you the strength of the champion and how you can play it out when things don't go your way, level 1, and you can still gank. So the Lily is going for the Raptor's cheese, this ward really bringing in value. Just excellent to watch the entrance and just slam a ward down. You gain so much information, imagine. Right? You thought, okay, cool, I died, they died, whatever, I'll just go bottom lane and get a leash, which is what most of you would do, right? Be honest. No. Because you're going to lose your whole red side. And if you didn't have this ward down and you had that fight regardless, you wouldn't know she's taking this. You clear your blue side, you think, I'm going to go get my red and then gank, because 3 to 4 camp really into action is supremely good at the moment, especially if you are against the classical meta that has been dominating for a year now, like a Lilia. Nonetheless, from Poppy's perspective, here we go. The Lilia is going to actually smite it down, so she gets that. Poppy starts E here because of that invade. Normally, you probably start Q. Throws out the passive auto attack. This is your Demacian T-Biscuit, I guess. Pick it up, you get a shield. And against walls, that bonus damage. So, this is huge, right? The collapse, there's the shield. The collapse here on the level 1 is really a game changer because if you go bottom side now, the Lilia is free to farm and you lose that pressure. As long as you maintain this fighting and the ganking and forcing the Lilia to be in uncomfortable situations, you can end up coming out on top now, especially with the experienced nerfs. This is just irritating. I hate this. You're scanning here, this is great because you have no idea what they see, what they don't see. You don't know where the Lilia went. At this point, it's logical she goes here, but she doesn't have smite, so Lilia is pretty much out of this early game phase, at least for the time being. The Renekton really hounded you level 1, so now your pathing has to shift a little bit. We got a few baby raptors. You can see it's warded here as well, right? So you know that they see you, and that's very important. And the Lilia does actually go to the raptors here. So, with the assumption that Lilia goes to raptors, which is a good assumption for a champion like this, like her, like Kayn, what have you, and you know that they know where you are, it changes how you pass. So we'll quickly do this red buff. As you can see, the passives and the auto attacks, absolutely fine. Rune set we didn't go over on your screen now. Dark Harvest. More damage in the late game, allows you to both fighter or tank. Really up to you, doesn't matter. Yes, we have the Hail of Blades concept as well, but Dark Harvest, full tank Poppy is your de facto choice. Dark Harvest into your Divine, and then Dead Man's in full tank is your secondary choice, and really gives you just bonus penetration on the passives. HP is great for that shield from the passive, as I said, the Demacian T-Biscuit that you pick up. Overall, really nice fightery build, and you're still insanely tanky because of the W passive here, which gives you armor magic resist. I think you can see it. And that's doubled when you're lower HP, so all good things, all good things. Now, you do a red buff into a bottom side clear. This ward gets placed right on your face. This is so tilting. The bottom lane has prio. Okay. The Lilia did this and this, and now, in your elos, most likely she's just going to go ahead, do the Krugs, and carry on farming, be very passive. In higher elo, even though this is Master Team, we do have some mistakes. They're going to look to punish you pretty heavily, as you can see. Now, when this gets placed, right? In-game, you can click on it, and if you're quick enough, I guess higher DPI, you can click on the ward and swing your mouse to the top left, and it will tell you who placed it. And you say, ah, Lilia placed this ward. So without even having to face check, you know who placed the ward and who's there. At this point, if you're timing when the Nautilus sort of roams, you can add into it. So here, for example, right, we're farming the wolves, we're F-keying and looking at the minimap, we're staring at the minimap, we're watching Katarina go in on a Renekton, and you're watching the Nautilus. He leaves now, right? And the ward comes through there. So you know it's not the Nautilus's ward. Immediately, even without clicking on it to see it's Lilia, you know there's two people there. Which means, as frustrating as this is, it's risky to fight if your team doesn't rotate. Now, I would keep spam pinging, say, please, help me. The Thresh does, he gets the flight, you get the flash, he gets the ignite. She has the passive speed. Vayne does good work flashing in. Poppy uses the E as a dash, something people don't do. Don't have to hit things into wall, you should because you get the stun and the damage. But if you need to use it for mobility, you can. So, good job from the bottom lane, both perspectives. However, it doesn't work out too well at all. That's a triple kill for the Ezreal. So these fights that you force have drastic consequences sometimes. And you know what? She didn't force it, right? She just needed the buff. Like, if you don't rotate there to help your jungle, the Poppy's screwed. And at the very least in the previous meta, good job, Katarina. Thank you for the cleanup. Actually, did we miss that? Yeah. So, I'm looking and thinking about Poppy. The Katarina here uses the TB Ignite meta to basically clean up. So this is huge, obviously for the Katarina, but we cannot say, great, well done, good job us. You have to say this is a sad game. There you go. You have to say this is a sad game, and that's not the best beginning. However, going for the crab here will give you 3. I think that's not a bad decision. At this point, we would have seen it here, that the Lily is going to go topside. You can basically place a bet on this. It's almost absolutely guaranteed that she's going to go topside here. I would not necessarily expect her to go straight for your Raptors, although because it's a second spawn, and both junglers are getting absolutely destroyed by this nonsense fighting, this is a really valuable camp. So taking this Scuttle Crab, I think I like it. Get it off the map, alright? I don't like walking into a jungle pointlessly. You know she started on the Raptors, and you know full well that she died here trying to take yours. That means this is significantly delayed in terms of its tier 2 spawn, and you don't have an exact timer. This is waffling, I don't like it. What you could do is hit this down to see if Krugs were taken, but again, you wouldn't need to, purely because you saw her fighting here level 2. So, for me, this is just a waste of time. I feel like we could regain control of our jungle, and then we could look to pay back the debt we owe to bottom lane. We can throw in some lane camp, some pressure, and make sure the Vayne gets fed because the Ezreal got a triple kill. So this for me is waffling, wasting time. We don't know whether Tilly is 100%, but she must be topside, right? And then she shows top lane here, very briefly. Big old Scion does work on the AA Trox, and you see her. So basically at this point, you have a timer on this, you would have a timer on this, and now you can count on jungle. I mean, you know it's gonna be around 420. I just feel like you could do your blue and grump, look bottom lane. If there's nothing and you see your top lane there, now we can seamlessly flow into the counter jungling, right? If you just did this after the crab, I think securing the crab is good just to make sure you have the vision control. It's not the best power thing in terms of sequencing, because better just did a blue, grump, crab. Probably actually more logical, considering we know Lily is on the top side. And then you can basically say, Lily is top lane, taking my Raptors and Krugs, I'm going to do the same. So maybe that's actually the best play, and then you can translate that into a really good gank on the bottom side. So this is a bit of waffling. It doesn't help us whatsoever, but at the very least, you see Lily at top, and you can take her Raptors. Alright, now basically she's looking for an action. This is a low Renekton. Katarina, that's 3 and 2. He has a stun though. And bottom lane here is kind of crashing, so it's not... it's a Nautilus and an Ezreal, it's kind of tough. So I think we can look for mid lane here. And we don't need to farm at this point, right? Let's have a look. Baits out the dash. Boom. Beautiful. And that W is what's such a big thing for the Poppy jungle, right? In this mobility meta and dash abilities everywhere, why not just stop them dashing? You know, slap down a W, slap down a wall stun from the Poppy. She really works well into a lot of the irritating champions that you hate. Here it decides, you know what? I know Lilia showed top lane and probably took these Krugs. She showed here, went down. Didn't have a blue buff. You would have noticed that low on mana, doesn't have a blue. As long as you have eyes, you're fine. I can simply do this. Right? So it's a 4-camp reset into maybe a lane gank on the bottom side. Unfortunately, your Raptors are taken. Fine. Carrying about your business. Tier 2 Wolf camp? Yes, please. I'm gonna be honest with you. Leaving the blue here is just wasted resources. Wasted experience, wasted resources. And the time spent doing this stuff, after taking the blue and the Grump, you're pretty close to another Grump spawn here. So again, wasted experience by the waffling, but it is what it is. Okay, they're pushing now. This is great. We can try something. Hit the plant to go over. It's warded. Sad times. Clear it though. I think she should clear it. But again, it should be known that it's warded. Imagine now if the pathing was seamless, right? You could just be right here for a Thresh hook, Thresh Lantern. Like, you could be making this play already without having shown yourself. Because now you've shown yourself unnecessarily. You're going back into the jungle. And we're level 5 from it too, so. Don't back. Let's go. Also, Lilia is just rinse clearing the Raptors, which is why the reduced gold and experience on that Razorbeak. Thank you very much, Riot, because farming junglers is just going to always steal our Raptor camps over and over again. And the Poppy here, you can see, is looking for action. You know? I'm looking at the Lilia top as well, but I want to focus on this. Why? This is not good. Okay, so she's dead. Poppy is lane ganking here, avoiding this vision. Okay, she's seen on the ward, so the Thresh has to go. The Thresh has to go. Lantern. Okay, that's a really bad mistake by the Ezreal. It's basically Poppy E into the Vayne Condemn is doomed. Tanks a tower, good tanking. Great. How easy is that? How easy is that? And you know what? If it wasn't warded here when you hopped over the plant, you could go for it. 100%, yeah. You know, we don't need to lane gank this with the Thresh, which is obviously a Thresh thing. But yeah, well played. So again, we're down 18 CS, but we're 1-2-4, 5 out of 8 KP. You've got your Sheen, okay? We've got a Ruby Crystal, and we have Boots. I think here, you could argue Tier 2 Boots Rush versus Lilia is very helpful. There's no point going for this. You know she was top lane. You know she took it. I know you're waiting for the red, but... Did anyone see that? I pulled the face and just paused without saying anything. Did anyone else see that? When she walked over it? Look at this. You gotta see it, you gotta clear it, you gotta own it, because they know where you are now. This is all they want, especially in a ganking meta. Vision control is one thing when you're farming and shilling and just rinsing experience, like the degenerate you are. But when you're looking for ganking, you being seen is a death sentence, because the gank success is what keeps you in the game. And it again walks over it. Well, that's a pink ward that's earning its dinner, I'll tell you that much. Right, at this point the pings are going on, you see the Renekton going down, most likely on the dragon. Nothing you can do. Hey, look, again, 3-time procced. Free dragon because of it. This is why Shaco is so good in this meta. This is why Evelynn is so good overall. Purely because you're a big question mark. You're always a question mark. And when you're a question mark, you don't even have to do things sometimes. You could be here. You could be here. You could be here. And they don't know. And when they don't know, they have to play accordingly. You have to respect it as much as you can. And then Shaco just shows up completely where you don't expect him. And that's why that video was so interesting to make the last one on Tuesday. Because of that. Now Poppy's just basically eliminating all question marks about her. And giving away a free dragon. Level 7 Lilia. So you are down in experience. However, I feel like the Poppy is down in experience partly through her own inadequate pathing a little bit as well. We could most likely be 6 had we been, you'd 100% B6 if you cleared the control ward. You know, there you go. But we want 6 before our next gank. But I think definitely hovering that bot side here is great. You could sequence this, right? But there's no reason to do it if you've just hit a level spike and you want to get on the map before the Lilia who just did a dragon. So that's pretty huge. And we can just do the same thing again. I love these lane ganks. Lane ganks in these situations are brilliant. If the enemy bottom lane and mid have prio, then you can't float here and you know they have vision control from the dragon, just swoop. Swoop, scan, approach, patience. Let the Thresh do his thing, bait it out, look at this. There you go, that's what we want. Alright, Thresh goes in with a flash, gets the hook. Now this is good target selection. Sorry to cock block you with the view. This guy is dead, so Poppy immediately goes to stun the Ezreal. Okay? We'll look at it again, don't worry. And that's a double kill because of it. Way too many times, Poppy's tanks and the such will focus the support. And yes, you should, obviously, kill what you can in this situation, because he's the furthest out. However, he's CC'd, he's not going anywhere. So we can immediately flex and stun, Q, and get our empowered auto attack shield to tank tower shot on the Ezreal, and the Nautilus will fall 100% from the Vayne. So, good target selection. You don't get an assist on it, unfortunate, but you do get a double kill for your Vayne and yourself. So, this is great. And I love this. I love this. The Thresh spent time and effort clearing these wards. And you as a jungler who is a ganking jungler should not go, right, go to grop now. I see that way too much. And maybe they say it in funny accents because it's so stupid. But I don't know why you would go back to grumpier. We've got a shoving Renekton against a Katarina who's already got 4 kills. She's closing in on core itemization spikes, which we enjoy. Because it's not about the deaths with the Katarina. It's not about the gold. It's not about the CS. It's about the item spike. It's about the gold and the item spike, you know? It's not, when you look at the deaths, you're like, ah, Katarina, you're 3 and 5. Yeah, but maybe she got a shutdown, and maybe she just completed a core itemization, which allows her to absolutely destroy everyone. Patience here, because he disappeared, we don't know. We lost vision. That's unfortunate. Okay? So maybe we're detected, we could use this, but we don't want to show ourselves. Okay. So this is the right decision. Don't walk into the lane where there's a wave gonna show up, and when you don't know where this guy is, and you don't know where Lilia is, just simply pat him down, clear your vision. No problem. Hits that to see. There you go. Hello, Nautilus. Good. Good awareness. Renekton wants to go in on the Katarina here. Will he do it? Aha, there's Lilia. She did the crab, the giant void beetle as well. And activates it to try and shred this. 4-man mid. You're gonna lose that tower, guys. So, you know, when you get a Herald and you think, hey, let's go take the mid tower, no concerns. There you go, Poppy against the tower, get the shield from your T-Biscuit, and the hook from the Thresh to follow up, and the Aatrox gets the auto attack, and everyone lives. So, taking that mid lane tower, don't be so obsessed about it. Alright? Let's just watch it again. Because too many times you'll be in this situation as a farming jungler, there's no real urgency for you to do this right now. Because you know Poppy's here, you know Thresh is here, you know your bot lane was just killed, which means they're not going to really be in position, and he gets chunked again anyway. So, the fact that the Aatrox is showing on this ward as well means that this is just an absolute grief play. I mean, your top laner was in base also, with no TP. Like, sure, you might get 2 plates, right? Which they do. But the Renekton isn't disciplined, tries to stun the Poppy, which he does. And then the Lilia flashes in to get her Q sleep, which she does. But the problem is, this is a Katarina ultimate, who now has no way of being stunned. And that's exactly what you want. Like, she gets stunned after the channel, and the Lilia's already dead. So that's bad patience by the blue team. And it costs them. It costs them big. Really, really big. Also, Poppy's tankiness and sustain, sustain. Well, I guess sustain with Divine. Poppy's damage and tankiness in these situations with her CC is so dominant. So, spam ganking, kinda. throwing some camps in between, but really looking to make plays. Now she's the same level. There you go. Same level as Lilia. Whereas in the previous meta, you're looking at 85 to 57, you're going, oof, that's not good. I mean, you're 100% down a level at the very least. Oh, hello. Did she just... So while the Poppy is on the Krugs here, what happens is the Lilia decides, you know what, I'm going to blindly counter jungle. I don't like this. It's very obvious the Poppy left after the mid lane fight, and it's very common practice here, with no objective on the map, to finish off your camps and reset and then head to the other side of the map. You know, because you want to set up for this dragon, and you want to help your bottom lane again, who are now mid lane, because they took the mid lane tower for no particular reason. So Katarina, who TB'd and killed the Ezreal as well, most likely is going to be shifting on down here. This is just very greedy by the Lilia. And you know what, you can say maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but it's just still greedy. I mean, I don't advocate for this at all, because you see Thresh and Vayne mid lane. So, Poppy dies, Lilia dies, and now the bottom lane shows up. The Renekton's gonna die. Nice healing, by the way. You know, this is just absolutely silly. And the Poppy did the right thing. Great rotation mid here to stop the Herald, flow up, take the camp that's available, and now you can respawn. Wait, slow down. There we go. She's small, but she's fast. And now you can just sequence these camps down, or you can look to match something. Now, if there's a fight developing, so at this point in the game, you might think, right, is ganking over? No. Pressure isn't over, but very importantly, it's not time to farm. Too many times junglers will do this for the first 12 minutes, and then they start farming for no reason. Like, you probably have the inclination, let me sequence down, and then I can get vision control for the dragon. In principle, yes, but you have to keep your mind on this. Right, where's this guy? Obviously, 2 just died. Where's this guy? Whose TP is up? And if there's a fight, try and rotate to help out. Don't overcommit, but if you're winning the fight, like this one, all you do here is force them to back off, which saves your Vayne's life, which is great because you need it for the dragon, right? And now, because your team's flowing upside, I don't like that. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. We want a dragon. Hold the mid wave. Juice soak. Please. They actually cancel their back to kill the Scion. So the dragon that's going to be up here is very interesting. Maxing that Q into E, by the way. And then Lily is here for no reason either. I mean, what is going on? Like, what? Why do you need to counter jungle so much? Why? Well, all this is showing is how good Poppy is at existing around stuff. And then Katarina kills the crocodile. Right, it's not over yet, though. You have 3k gold, which is substantial, and you got a free dragon because of the Lilia. I don't get the game plan here. But hopefully at least you see the action from the Poppy's perspective regarding ganking and pressure. Because it's been very good. And now she's up a level. You know, she's down a whole bunch of CS. Less so because the Lilia is basically inting. But holding the waves and taking those camps between fights, it's been good. It's been good. Right. Now you want to farm, we want to shadow, we want to be present. We're looking for these fights just in case Nautilus shows up. If there's a fight here, you cancel your back. She's got a Divine Sunderer, by the way. Merc Treads completed and an added Ruby Crystal for extra shields. Make sure you're picking that up in fights and skirmishes, by the way. Very big. We do want to try and get this Rift Herald. So, control wards, good. Scan, good. This is denied vision, by the way. So, don't hit this. You can normally, but if you're going to rotate for a fight or whatever, it's okay because the control ward's doing its job. Because we see here top lane, he's fighting over committing. I don't think they'll get there in time. Brah. Commitment. Katarina's bottom side, doesn't have TP. You can hold top wave, I guess. We'll have to give up that Herald. That's unfortunate. That's on the top line now. The Aatrox should have been aware of it. But you can do your Krugs. There you go. You got the delay proc on the damage. You can Q flash also, which people don't know. They always try and flash and then Q, but you can actually proc your Q, begin the channel and flash and hit it for like instantaneous reaction speed. They take the Herald. See? You hit him with the long range auto. Push the wave. Now, at this point, you have to say, right, what's your job? You have 8 stacks of harvest. I mean, it is damage. And you do have a bit of penetration. Well, you will when it's finished with your next item. But your job very much is peel, disengage, and disrupt. You do a lot of damage. And when you hit a squishy with your combo like this, you will do things, right? Especially with Divine Sunderer, your auto attacks do things. Everything you do has impact with this champion in the jungle. But do not lose sight of what your true purpose is. Okay, again, once everyone's kind of chilling right now, I don't know why. I know he scales, and he's going to be useful, but he isn't. He will be, I suppose, but I mean, this is not exactly a terrible late game team either, right? As long as they're patient with their CC and Katarina, which they won't be. Hello, Crocodile. You see? This is very important. Don't sequence this in this case. You have mid pushing. You have bot pushing. So what you can do now is use that pressure to start moving inwards, getting wards, and making these picks as they move between their own jungles. If your lanes are pushed up, then yes, farm your camps, get wards at the entrances, and play defensively. But if you have pressure in the lanes, now you can move into their jungle. Ignore those camps, because you're going to get their camps, and you're going to get the fights you want, using your E there to get away. Steal the camps, this is fine. You're absolutely fine doing this right now. Don't be impatient, please. Do not. Ha, baby. Fight on the mid side. In goes the Nautilus. That's a dead 100%. Poppy rotates. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Thresh dies. We saw that. Poppy now needs to rotate. I liked her jungling though. Like the jungling was good, you know? The fighting. There you go. Very nice. This is good damage. The ganking was nice. She was able to navigate the bad beginning very well. We can flash stun this. There you go. Well done. Nice Q over the Wolf from Aatrox as well. So that's clean all around. And now you can just chase down. W is up. Tank the tower. Woo. And that's why as a tank it's so important to save your CC, and not even a tank, just anyone, for the Katarina. Because if you waste it, you burn it, you get caught out, you get out team fighted, I guess. The Katarina's just gonna do that, and you go complain the Katarina's broken, instead of saving your CC with discipline. And if there's multiple threats, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You have to learn to play around it. Patience is key, that's why I keep saying it. Okay, there's gonna be dragon spawning, no need to farm, we can go straight there. Baron is not up yet, there's no herald, you can solo this absolutely fine. Now what they do is basically realize, okay look, things are not going well for us. They are 100% gonna go down for the dragon. We don't have confirmed vision until this point, but because we do, let's herald push. Katarina's gonna shove mid lane. Okay, but the problem is it's a herald push. You have to back. So you're gonna have a little bit of cat and mouse here. Alright, let's see. Let's see if they can be disciplined. Have we actually seen the Poppy really use her ult yet? Not really. That's one part of the aspect. There we go. This is actually not bad, because now there's no minions to tank the tower. And all you've got is this herald, which is going to die very quickly. So this is not it's not a bad ult, but I don't think that's exactly what she was going for. Nice disengage tool. Just hold the line. Staying with the Vayne. You see this? Just staying next to the Vayne. And the Katarina just... Yep. See, that's what you want, but it's too slow. Like, they've got resets already. They got no mana. They got no resources. This is fine. Like, you might think, oh, this is boring, but you're playing a tank. She's playing a tank. It's good. You can actually... If you get more kills here, even, you can probably do the Baron. You got a Vayne, this is a free Baron. Yep. So they pull the trigger on this play, which is, you know, cat and mouse. They get the top inhibitor, but we get the Baron. You see those blue team pings? Did they want to reverse, just push this? And the answer is yes. They have the inhibitor on the top side taken down, which means it's actually good practice here to shove with the Baron, which makes it really easy to negate a super minion wave. But their whole team pushes here. So once again, using the macro to try and end the game will get some kind of advantage. They leave the Vayne and the Thresh for a threat. So now basically it's like, who recalled, who didn't? Let's see what the tank does. At this point, if they're going back to base, you want to stop the Stop the ports. Uses the, oh, nice E positioning. Alt. Good. This is just, I love it. It's so funny. It's not funny when it happens to you. You know, like I play Warwick. It's not funny. I'm like, all right, I'm going to ult. Never mind. Bye. But for this, it's actually pretty good. Look at this, though. See, the fight isn't going in their favor. She pulls back. I think she's being very conservative. But at the same time, it's discipline. Sticking next to your carry and saving your spells for when you actually need to use them. Like here. Like there. Wait, wait, wait. Hit the E, hit the Q, down goes the Lilia. Great. Okay? Now you've got the Q up again. Actually, you shouldn't even need to hit the Q. You've got the Lantern to get you out, because Thresh and Vayne actually backed. So did the Ezreal. Now you can chase down. Stun on the wall for the Renekton. Vayne can follow up with the Condemn. Dead. Switch targets to the Scion. Same thing. Keep hitting your Q, picking up your shield, hitting your E when necessary. Use your W as well when necessary. Very well played. She's got the Deadmans now, so that's extra damage, extra HP, extra speed. We should be able to get this dragon. I think they're pretty close to winning this, actually. I mean, I know they have a huge lead at this point, but it's really an unassuming way of doing it. I mean, she's 6'3", 12, has 18 out of 33, which isn't the highest KP. The Katarina has popped off in some fights, but she's zoning and targeting the right people. And that's not to be underestimated when you play Poppy jungle. And in early game, she had good pathing, good ganks, and really basically kept her poise and got the bottom lane ahead. I mean, it's her doing that Vayne is able to do things. Good vision control here. Aha! Hello, you saw that? What are you doing? Greedy, greedy, greedy. Let's actually see how much more of this game we have. Yeah, not much. So, there you have it. I think I just basically summarized it up. But, you know, it's not the most fun playstyle for a lot of people, and it's not the biggest Poppy carry game, but it's probably the average sort of Poppy game that you would see, where you would need to have those really intelligent ganks and pathing. You need to have that intelligent farming in between that downtime. Make sure you're making the plays necessary to get those dragons, which you can solo very easily with Divine Sunderer. And then team fights, it's all about the peel and target selection. It's one of the biggest disengage ults in the game. Oh, hi Lilia. Good. See that? You get stunned before you go to sleep if you're not getting channeled. Knock them. And now all of a sudden you have a huge numbers advantage. You can W to prevent any escape. And now you win the game from this, you know? And in a tighter game, that kind of ultimate and W usage with E stun in the fight wins you so many team fights. It's good. She's got a good win rate for a reason. She does well against meta champions. She just isn't the highest damage, you know, kind of champion, or the easiest to play in terms of CC, because you require walls and things like that, but yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Please do try Poppy out. One of the best junglers, hidden OP for sure, really does a good job in specific comps, and has a place in the new ganking meta. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And as always, hammer those beard knots out. And I will see you all in the next tutorial.